So with that, every single competition must have a case study. Okay, it must have a case study. In 2016, we started the case study with telecommunication. I don't know if Dion had something to do with that, but that's how we started the case study in 2016. And in 2017, we went into the mining industry. Our case study was about mining. And this year, in 2018, our case study is about a brewery all over the world. So we're going to speak about alcohol this year, okay? Hope we're not going to be drinking it while we're doing the job, but it is about alcohol this year and how breweries are working and operating, and they have challenges, global challenges all over the world, because, I mean, breweries are coming up all over the world, and I think it's going to be a great study. I can't wait to see the response of the students to this case study. But before we go on, let's just hear what the case study is all about.
After weeks of back and forth, SAB Miller has agreed to key terms on a takeover offer by AB InBev. Together, the two brewers sell over 30% of the world's beer, and they would have a major presence in the US, China, Europe, Africa, and Latin America. AB InBev would get access to Africa, which is widely seen as a key market for growth. AB InBev will have to face antitrust scrutiny around the world, and the deal could take up to a year to close. The companies will have to navigate scrutiny in jurisdictions like China, the US, and possibly some Latin American countries. The deal has received unanimous approval from SAB's board of directors.
The purpose of this transaction is to enhance our ability to serve new markets, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Central and South America.
The AB InBev case, researched, designed, and developed by the CharterQuest Institute South Africa, is based on a real-world leading multinational business within the global beverage and brewery industry. As AB InBev approached May 1, 2016, 5 major interconnected issues had surfaced, from which the board had asked the teams to identify and define the main problems, prioritize and evaluate each, including any ethical dilemmas, and offer strategic advice. First issue: Africa direct entry via Nigeria. AB InBev had considered, prior to making the offer, and are still considering, in case the SAB Miller deal failed to close, alternative paths into the African market through a foreign direct investment in Nigeria. It entailed setting up a 140 billion Nigerian naira manufacturing capacity to also cater for export sales to other countries in West Africa. It has incurred some costs to investigate this opportunity of $1.5 million and has already made a range of payments of about $100 million towards the strategic marketing initiatives it planned to execute in Africa to stimulate the consumption of its products amongst the growing youthful African population. Examples include payments towards national soccer sponsorships, payments to erect billboards next to schools and universities, sponsorship of research into the harmful effects of alcohol, amongst others. Through this investment, it would challenge Nigerian Breweries PLC and Guinness Nigeria PLC, both of whom currently control the Nigerian beer market, but also take on SAB Miller in Nigeria before launching an attack against its other Africa strongholds in South Africa, Ghana, and Zambia, amongst others. Second issue: B2B and downstream supply chain strategy in Southern Africa. If AB InBev acquired SAB Miller, it will leverage on its resulting bigger size and bargaining power to review SAB Miller's current B2B and downstream supply chain strategy for dealing with major supermarket customers who buy the drinks in bulk for direct retailing to final consumers. At the moment, these supermarkets seem to have a high power over SAB Miller, increasing the cost of serving them and impacting on profitability. AB InBev could take any of 4 strategies to respond. 1. Stop selling to the least profitable supermarkets. 2. Persuade the supermarkets to reduce the number of cost-generating activities. 3. Venture into direct retailing to consumers. And 4. Introduce new technologies to reduce the cost of the cost-generating activities. Third issue, integration, synergies, and execution risk. On announcing the takeover offer, AB InBev's share price rose by only 1.8%, far below the 25% expected. An investor survey has uncovered 2 major market uncertainties. 1. The deal may be overpriced, and 2. Despite AB InBev's past mergers and acquisitions track record, the SAB Miller case is just far too large and complex to successfully realize the envisaged cost and revenue synergies in the 4 years proposed, especially in the light of heightened anti-competitive, trade union, and other teething execution risk factors. Fourth issue, environmental hazard in China. AB InBev's largest brewery facilities in the world, under construction in China, is due to commence production in 3 months, but it has encountered major setbacks. Local protesters are claiming that the contracted construction workers on site have been discarding waste building materials in a nearby river, polluting the waters and impacting wildlife. The situation has aroused local media interest, and the senior official is proposing a range of measures to deal with the situation.
So we have to have an environment that's sound.
Fifth issue, deal funding strategy and group financial performance. When Carlos Brito, CEO of AB InBev, on 11 November 2015 presented his final cash offer of $105.5 billion, which SAB Miller accepted, it was clear the group would need to go into the capital market to raise this cash. AB InBev had back in January 2014 set its 5-year strategy around 3 strategic priorities. 1. Undertake mergers and acquisitions whenever growth starts to slow down. 2. Prioritize cash to pay for acquisitions ahead of special dividends or share buybacks. 3. Integrate acquisitions to realize cost and revenue synergies ahead of schedule. The group had also set 3 financial objectives of 1. Grow dividends per share by 10% year-on-year. 2. Deliver total shareholder returns of 14% year-on-year. And 3. Keep gearing below 40%. The CFO aspirants were required to apply strategic management, strategic financial management, B2B versus B2C marketing strategy, public relations, project management, supply chain management, cost and management accounting, financial accounting and reporting, human resources management, business ethics and corporate social responsibility, stakeholder and government relations, as well as regulations and business law. The CFO junior aspirants were required to apply accounting, business studies, mathematics, and economics. If only solving an alcohol business challenge was as sweet as the alcohol itself. Best wishes to the teams.